You have been on a really long hiking trip. Okay, so 2 years ago, my grandma and I, we went to the Grand Canyon and we hiked from the bottom of the canyon to the top. And this started because one day, 2 years ago in November, she called me and she's like, Sean, something I want to do before I go away is I really want to do this hike. I've seen pictures and videos about it and I really want to do it. It would be great if you could help me. So I called all these agencies, booked the hotel and everything, and we did the 5-day river raft down the Grand Canyon, and then a 1-day hike up to the top. It was a 16-hour hike. By the way, my grandma's 82 years old, so we did a lot of preparation. Like I made her hike. I FaceTimed her every week. I made her hike like where she lived. Got her on like a meal plan and stuff to make sure she was like ready for it. And so a little bit about the hike. It was a 16-hour hike, and it was 1 mile vertical. And so this was after 5 days of river rafting down the canyon and with like minimal food, not much energy. And so when we started the hike, she already told me, she's like, Sean, I don't feel that well already. I feel dehydrated. And so I packed a bunch of these reusable straws that we could stick in any river or lake. And every couple of miles I made her drink. Like no matter what, I went to go find a small river, a lake, and I made her kept drinking water. And as we started walking, there was these wooden stairs, and she slipped on one, and she started bleeding. Her knee started bleeding. And I didn't carry a bandage with me. We had to pack very minimally because we've been heavier and harder to hike. So I took one of these leaves and like wrapped it around with like a very thin wooden string. And it was like a mental thing for her. Like it didn't help at all, really. But she like in her head, she was like, okay, like now I feel better and I can hike up. And after we ate and about halfway through the hike, she looked at me and she said, Sean, I can't do this anymore. And so the only option from there was to call a helicopter, but it was just me and her, and I knew I couldn't afford that. And so I kept motivating her. I said, Ba, that's what I call my grandma. I said, Ba, you can do this. We've trained for so long. You can do this. And she kept walking. She kept going. As we kept walking, we saw a rattlesnake, and through my motivation, that did not faze her at all. She kept walking. And 8 hours later, we made it to the top. And although she didn't think she could do it, she knew that with her training and with me by her side, she was able to do this. And my grandma and I successfully hiked the 16-hour hike to the top of the Grand Canyon. I urge you to talk to your grandparents and ask them if there's anything that they would like to do that they haven't done before.